Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mellon Fights episode 2, sports and entertainment podcast here on the podcast world. We're not really on a network. I am Drew.
And I am Tara. And we are Mellon Fights.
Yeah, we are. Remember Mellon Fights? We're brother and sister sports and entertainment enthusiasts.
We also like to dabble in the entertainment world.
I said sports and entertainment enthusiasts.
Jeez.
I said sports and entertainment enthusiasts.
We are. We like all those things.
But we also do like to dabble in the sports world.
Yes,
too.
we do. We're dabblers.
Sports and entertainment.
Yeah. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Masters.
That's what you want to start with, is the Masters?
Yeah.
What do you want to talk? Why? Did you watch the Masters?
I watched a little bit of it, and by a little
How much
bit...
Masters? So we're here to talk about the Masters. How much Masters, Tara, did you watch?
Well, so I watched it the first day just to see Tiger do a little swing.
Tiger Woods.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I didn't watch it again until Sunday, I think at 4:00 maybe. So
like
at
the end of it.
Yeah.
Like at the end when you get the winner and stuff.
Yes. But I have a lot of takes from the amount I watched.
Oh, so you watched all of Thursday?
No, I literally
just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I just saw Tiger and his fit.
How many minutes of the Masters do you think you watched before we get your hot takes?
Maybe like 10 to 15.
10 minutes of the Masters, and you are about to tell me how the Masters went?
Yeah,
okay.
And it was like it wasn't 10 minutes at once. It was like 10 minutes.
Yeah, because you watched 2 days, so.
Yeah. Well.
So how much do you think you watched on the first day? Like the day that I watched all of Thursday. I watched Tiger's whole round.
I watched very little.
It was on. How many minutes? That first day.
Maybe a minute. I just turned it on.
Why you would?
So I just
do
turned it on.
not say you watched the Masters. You basically flipped through the channels and stopped for a minute.
Yeah, but I saw that Tiger was on, so I watched him and he looked good. I thought
like he looked sexy good, or just like healthy good, or.
Well, he did look a little beefy. Like, did you see his outfit day one? It was like a turtleneck or a mock neck, neon pink, like hugging his muscles. And I was like, Tiger's looking fit. Tiger's looking good.
I mean, Tiger has always kind of been fit. That's kind
of but he looked good. The other.
So what was your takeaway then?
So my takeaway was I was excited that Tiger was playing. Because the one swing I saw looked good.
So excited that you watched 1 minute of Thursday.
Well, that's a lie. Because I just remembered that then I went downstairs and Dad was watching it. And I saw Cameron Smith. And I was like, gosh. The mullet just needs to go away. And Dad yelled at me for having that take. He's like, people can do whatever they want. They can wear the hair they want. So I was like feeling real bad about it and real judgy.
Did you maybe hit did you sting a spot there with Poppy?
I don't know, maybe.
Because here's the thing. Dad's hair is lacking.
It is lacking.
To the point where he's thinking about going full bald. Mm-hmm. He had a good run. He's not young. But I think maybe when you got hair, let a guy do what he wants to do with his hair is I think what Dad's thinking, because
you never know when it's going to be gone.
You never know when it's going to go away. And why do you hate the mullet so much? Not all mullets are created equal. Some of them look pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Some of them look gross.
I feel like I don't actually mind Cam's mullet because he just
somehow I must have missed his mullet.
It is blonde. And like he's kind of like an awkward dude too, from what I gathered in the very few minutes I saw him. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It worked for him. I think I just don't like hockey players. So
wait, so it worked for him, but you wanted to get rid of the mullet?
Yeah, because
So it worked for him, but you're like, let's get rid of the mullet. This works
well,
for this guy, but let's get rid of it.
after Dad like yelled at me, I reassessed my take, and I was like, he's right. Like he's just wearing that mullet, and I tried to like save face and be like, oh, you're right, and talk about other people with mullets that I liked. So, but then on Sunday when I turned it on, I was like, if this is how all the Masters are, I need to keep watching it because I watched it when the guy that won it, I saw him win, and he did like the Happy Gilmore where he had like an easy putt in and it kept going, so he like hit it back and forth like 3 different times.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh my god, he's gonna lose this, but he didn't. But he was like laughing, so that was pretty funny.
Yeah, he was so far ahead that it didn't matter. Do you know his name?
Scotty Scheffler. Scotty
Scheffler. That was good. I wasn't sure because you said the guy that won, but
yeah, it just
I wanted you to say his name. Yeah, it was he was so far ahead. He kind of had a really great Masters. I didn't watch all. I watched all day Thursday. I just had it on. It's interesting. I don't watch golf ever anymore. I used to when I was younger, like real young. It was like relaxing and it was like,
oh yeah.
What was that face?
I just don't believe that, but maybe
I watch golf all the time.
Okay.
Every weekend probably.
A good napping.
Especially with Tiger. I'd watch Tiger. I loved Tiger. Hated Phil Mickelson. I watched back in the day when what was his name?
Shooter McGavin,
yeah. Yeah, I don't know, my brain's not working right now, but no, I always had golf on. But I never watch anymore. It just isn't that interesting to me. I think it's bogus. The more I think about it, just like the people that are playing it and like golf in general and like what it stands for is just really, even the Masters itself is gross.
I know.
So, but here I am watching it because that's what Tiger does. That's the crazy thing about Tiger. Is he's had his his ups and downs as a a golfer over the years, as a person as well. He's had his problems, but so does everybody else. But he's that interesting where I was like, I'm watching this. I'm watching it. I had to. It's crazy.
By Sunday, I felt so bad for him. His foot looked like it hurt so bad.
Yeah, I mean he broke his leg where basically he didn't have a tibia anymore in less than 2 years ago. So the fact that he's out there even doing it was kind of a cool story.
Oh yeah,
a nice redemption story for a guy.
Yeah. Okay, this is my last take on it. There was like Rory hit it into the bunker and then he hit it out and it went into the hole and I think he got a birdie.
Okay.
And then the guy right behind him was in that same bunker and hit it out and he got a birdie too. So it was like 2 bunker shots into the hole and everyone was losing their mind. So I thought
What's
it was
your
exciting.
Take? Oh, my
take is it's exciting. So if all of it's the 10 minutes I watched, I'm like, maybe I should be watching more of it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's something interesting about golf, and it's an interesting just because it is exciting when someone hits a ball into a small hole from far away. But as a whole, it's weird. It's a weird thing. It's very elitist sport.
Yeah.
I don't care. It doesn't affect. I'm not mad about it or anything. I just don't care. I've just stopped kind of caring about it. And that's the Masters. Though it was fun. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you think Tiger's beefy. I'm glad you had fun watching it for 10 minutes, which is so silly. But yeah,
it was more like 15. 20
okay, whatever. That's not. It's like a hole. A hole takes 15 minutes, basically.
Well,
Did you even watch an entire hole? If you watch the Masters, it takes about 15 minutes for a hole because they're waiting and walking and. So
well,
did you?
I think did you ever see it? Just. I think so.
Did you watch it longer than you think? Because it takes a minute to watch holes.
Well, I think I was maybe going back and forth from Lifetime movies on Sunday, so.
Okay.
But I did want to catch some of it.
Well, I'm glad you
I'm
did.
happy
Well, you
I
gotta.
did.
If you're gonna be in a sports and entertainment podcast, you probably got to tune into the Masters for at least a minute or two.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Masters. So let's move on from the Masters and talk about something we are a little more interested in and we watch a lot more of, and that's the NBA playoffs coming up. Yesterday was the final game of the season, regular season, final day, and the playoff playing games are starting tomorrow night. And it's, I don't want to we're not really here to break down the X and O's and who's the best and why they're going to win, because who cares? Like,
and everyone
that's
does
not
that.
really, everyone does that. We're not really that great at that. I mean, I feel like I can be I'm pretty good at it, I feel like, but I don't feel like that's really your jam and what you want to talk about. And if people listen to this want to hear that, there's plenty of that out there. There's like 85,000 podcasts. The guys going like, whoa, Embiid's got this drop step. I don't know. I got nowhere to go. Maybe I would be terrible at it. Maybe I'd be really, really bad at it. But anyway, so I think we maybe should just figure out for us what storyline maybe in this playoffs is going to be the one that takes it. Who's going to maybe win not who's going to win the championship, but who's going to win this playoffs, what's going to be remembered. For instance, a couple years ago, the bubble one, Miami didn't win it, but they were kind of the story of that NBA playoffs. Like, obviously the Lakers won it and you think they'd be sore, but really that Miami run was really interesting and kind of out of nowhere, and that was kind of maybe the story. Like, who's going to win this playoffs as a person? Is it going to be? Well, I want to see what you got to say. Is it going to be like? That's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
trying to think.
Like, is it going to be a Giannis, or is it going to be a Ja Morant? Is it going to be a team? Like, what are you vibing on? What are you excited about?
I don't know if it's me being a homer, but I really think that it's going to be the Bucks. I think they're going to run it back.
Okay.
I think that everyone's going to realize that maybe Giannis isn't going to get the MVP because they're going to give it to Joel Embiid, but
I think Jokic gets it, but
you think?
Yeah, he had the best year. I think his year was the best. I think he deserves it.
And then everyone's going to see that, like, Giannis is so clutch and the team around him is awesome and they're playing for each other and they're just going to crush everybody. And then they're probably going to play. It's going to be a rematch. I think it's going to be a rematch of last year.
So that's the story, maybe? It's just a rematch of last year?
I do.
And that those teams, as much as people wanted to shit on those teams because of, like, they didn't beat anybody because everyone was hurt, but then these teams run it back and get there again. I think you're probably right. I think that's probably who's going to get there. I think those, that's what it's going to be.
And I think that, like, with Chris Paul and just getting back from being injured, did you see they got rid of Frank? They waived him.
Frank Kaminsky?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they never played him, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. I thought he did a good job when he get in there. He wasn't a great at defending dudes sometimes. That was really where that's really what, because on offense he was pretty good. He get some point, he get buckets if he got the ball up. The NBA is a weird place, man.
It is a weird place.
Yeah, I mean I guess that's a fairly boring storyline though. Those two teams going to the final. I'm like kind of excited to see like what happens with like this 76ers team that everyone's stroke daddy and Joel Embiid over and James Harden. It's like, can they come together? I don't know that I buy it. Like, they got a guy that's not even gonna be allowed to play in half of their games because he's not fully vaccinated. Like, that's interesting to me. It's like, can this really well coached, really good defensive Toronto team beat a team that doesn't seem to like care about each other that much?
Yeah.
They don't really gel. They got kind of rid of the, getting rid of Simmons didn't really do anything because they played without him all year. But instead they got rid of Seth Curry, who was kind of a perfect matchup with Embiid because he could, open up the floor for him and hit some threes. and brought in a guy like Harden who just kind of, you don't know what you're gonna get with a guy. You know, I think that is going to be the big interesting story of this playoffs. Is what can that say? If that's especially... either they they underachieve or B they make a nice run. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think, like you said, like that little piece of the fact that they're playing in Toronto, and I thought that was potentially going to be like a Kyrie thing, but now it's the issue with the 76ers, and it's like, how is this going to play out?
And that guy, and Matisse is not like a non-factor for that team. He's an important player. He's one of their best defenders, you know, and he's a energy guy, and that's going to matter. It just is.
Oh yeah, and they need an energy guy when you have such a like boring offense with James Harden.
And they're not playing against a team that's like gonna mess around. It's a team that's gonna be prepared. You know, they're not gonna come in and not be prepared.
Right.
You know, there's a couple teams in the playoffs, like the Bulls, just aren't there right now.
No.
They've kind of fallen apart after the first half of the season. It really shouldn't be a big series with the Bucks. It'd be surprising if it was. That would end up being kind of that would be a story, honestly, if that happened, because they stink.
Hate each other too. They hate each other. That's like the way, like with the Grayson Allen thing, like the last couple games they've played with him, they've taken cheap shots at him. So that's kind of a fun storyline.
I have a feeling the NBA is going to step in and say something before the series, like, hey, don't pull this
Stop
shit.
hitting him
it's
in
the
the
playoffs.
face.
Everyone's watching us now. Don't do it again. You know, or there's going to be consequences. That's my guess. I could be wrong, but again, but I saw a stat yesterday that I think since 2017, the Bulls haven't beat the Bucks with Giannis in the lineup. Like
what?
Yeah, since 2017, they've won 12 in a row against them, and they haven't.
That's crazy.
With Giannis in there, they haven't beat them since 2017. So it's not really gonna be much of a story there. But maybe so. There's that. So that's the East. And the West side, you know, basically we both think that the Suns are going to make a nice run. They're good.
Yep.
But there's some good storylines over there. Like, is Ja the guy? Can he do it? People been, again, it's that same thing as the Embiid. He's really popular among NBA Twitter and like young people. They really like Ja. And Ja and Embiid both deserve the praise they get.
Yeah. Ja's awesome, man.
Ja's awesome. And he seems like he's having a good time.
He's like a must-see TV kind of player where you just want to see what crazy thing he's going to do. And that team is so young, and they're like hungry and ready to just play some ball. So I could see them going far. I'm trying to think. Well, with the Warriors, they're kind of, is Steph going to be back? How is he going to be?
Sure, there's plenty of that.
If he's healthy, he's good, but that's not really a storyline.
So,
what about the Clippers?
What about them?
If they make it.
What do you? I mean, listen. I just don't care about these playing. I don't care about these playing teams. I don't. They're not good. There's a reason that they're playing games. You know, even the Nets. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, sure, there's a dangerous quality to them because Kevin Durant is awesome, and Kyrie can be awesome, but they still had a run where they lost a bunch of games without Kevin Durant, which means no one else on that team is any fucking good. They weren't even competitive in those games. It was terrible. So in my opinion, I don't see it. I think that the Celtics should beat them if they get in, I guess. Whether I guess they have a couple teams. They may not get in. They may be 8th. They may be 7th. I think they might. It's likely they'll beat the Cavaliers and play Boston, and I think the Boston will fuck them up.
Yeah,
I do, because I think Boston's a good basketball team, which is weird. We wouldn't have been saying that 2 months ago, 3 months ago. But so I guess I thought about this when you're talking about John. Would you say that the Memphis Grizzlies are the most bangable NBA team? Or like the hottest? Are they the hottest boys? Like, they're young and cool and hip.
Yeah,
you think if they walk into a nightclub, they're like, the babes want that team first? Do you think they're like the hottest?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like Ja's young and cool. What's Desmond Bain? I think he's a good looking dude. I don't know exactly.
I think you're asking me, but I think you already have the answer of yes.
No,
they are.
I'm asking.
Yeah,
I'm
I think so.
I'm not saying for you personally, but I think if like who's like the hot cool team like that, you know, probably when they walk into a room like it's exciting and people are. I think it might be the Grizzlies.
I think you're right.
Like I think if they walk into a room as a team, like the panties are dropping. Okay. I think they're getting excited. I think they're excited about it. You know, when you think about it though. Some of these other teams are a little older. Mm-hmm. Some of the guys are a little like, but then again, money talks. No one on that team's like super. None of them are poor, but none of them are like James Harden rich. You know. What about that team? James and Embiid walk in. Are they a hot team? Are they a sexy team? No.
No.
No. All right.
No.
Give me another option. Come on.
I'm trying to think of like.
Come on. I'm gonna start naming What about Giannis and the boys?
I mean, I don't want to say the Bucks for everything because that's homery.
I don't think they're bangable. I don't think they're bangable though.
No, they're not.
I mean, I feel like Giannis is a handsome dude, and I feel like
Drew's handsome.
Drew's a handsome dude. I don't want to say anyone's not, but like Brooks, like not like someone's like, oh, that Brooke Lopez he's a real handsome cat.
Remember when Tori was like, joking Noah is
a lot of people think that though. A lot of people think that. A lot of people think Joking Noah's hot. Like model. He's a strange looking cat.
Model hot.
Well, what about the Bulls? Are the Bulls a good looking team? Like are they maybe the East version, like the Levines and the
DeRozans.
DeRozans, but then they got some other guys too, some younger guys and Caruso. What about Caruso? I think it probably would be the Bulls. They walk in and they're like owning the club, and then the Grizzlies, East and West. So if it was like we're cool with the club now, because I feel like Harden goes in the club a lot, and he's known for a club guy, but I don't think he's that exciting. I feel like he goes there and kind of chills. Where I feel like the energy,
he's not like a hype guy.
Yeah, I feel like the energy that would be coming with those two teams would be kind of fun. You know, they wouldn't be they'd be having fun and wouldn't be all that serious.
Yeah, I definitely think that for sure. I think the Grizzlies for sure on that.
Yeah, the Grizz. So that's our playoffs. You know, I think you decided it was just going to be the most interesting story is going to be the same thing as last year. And I didn't really give one, did I?
No.
Or did I?
I guess you liked the 76er. You liked
I do.
I think, but you didn't give me like the final.
No, I don't want a finals. I just want to think who's going to win the play. Oh. I guess the original question was who's going to win who's going to come out of the end of this playoffs and be like, that's the shit. That team's the shit.
Oh.
Is kind of what the question was, you know, like.
I think the Grizzlies.
Last year it was clearly Giannis. Like Giannis come out, I was like, Giannis is the new shit. Who's going to be? You think it could be the Grizzlies, like as a whole? Is that what you're saying?
I think so.
I think it could, I honestly don't think you were wrong with what you said. And again, a homer thing. I think that Giannis is gonna dominate again in the playoffs, and people are gonna have to just admit that he's awesome. They don't want to. I mean, some real good basketball minds do, but like the masses need to figure it out. Like he's like doesn't have like street cred for some reason. It makes no sense to me. He's fucking dominant. And people are like, because they're like, like a lot of guys like, I like Kyrie because like basketball players like because he does stuff like they could never do. I'm like, yeah, no one does what Giannis does. It's it's freaky when I see it sometimes. They're like, that's not skilled. I'm like, it's insanely skilled what he does. Like sometimes it looks weird and sloppy and like he gets a little lost because I just think he gets excited and out of control sometimes.
Right, he's always like pushing it. So
he's always going hard, but you know, it's weird. It's weird that he's not a bigger draw, Giannis. Like he's not in a ton of commercials and shit.
And I mean, if you dope. And like I know it's a small market, but to me, I'm kind of like whatever. We have the internet. Like it shouldn't be an issue with like small market. But I feel like Kyrie was trying to create a storyline. Did you see recently that him and his trainer both said that Giannis purposefully slid under him to injure him last year?
Recently
it just came
again?
out again. Yes.
Fuck like another off, bro.
Yes. I just
he
saw
didn't
something like
try to injure him.
No.
And if he did, I hope he did. Kyrie is such a
if he
punk.
did, I hope.
Kyrie is such a punk. I'm so tired of Kyrie Irving. I just like, and I get it, man. People can be like, oh yeah, he's annoying. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not even saying he's a bad guy. He's annoying. If that was anybody else, he'd be annoying. You're annoying, dude. Like, you are so annoying. All you do is talk and like never really say anything. And it's always like kind of whiny. It's never you're never that positive about anything.
No. He tries to act like he's trying to be like peaceful and zen, and it's like, no, that's not really what you're doing. Fake.
You know who's peaceful and zen? Giannis. Giannis is so happy and playful at all times. Like, and his teammates clearly love him because he fucking is having a good time. That's zen. But what were you going to say? I went on a tangent there.
That's all right. I don't really remember. Oh, how everyone's like, well, Kyrie's so smart because, he went to Duke. It's like he played there for a year, and how much school did he really go to? He didn't go to
Duke. He also didn't go to Duke because he was a smart dude. And we're like, come play here at Duke because your academics are excellent, sir.
And that's obviously Duke, we don't know what his academics were, but still,
yeah. None of these guys, No. Duke is not. That was a case at one point. That was a thing.
Yeah.
With Duke players, but then it became not that.
Yeah.
Kyrie was kind of the beginning of it. Kyrie was kind of the beginning of the one and dones. Really for Duke, up through like Zion now and all the dudes this year that are going to the NBA from Duke. So yeah, I mean, we don't need to talk about Kyrie that much because I just think.
What do you think of Luka?
What about Luka?
Is he gonna win his first round in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think they're good. I think Luka's good. I think the team's good and their defense is good. Their defense is really good. I think Jason Kidd's a good basketball coach. I don't think that he's that good of a dude, but I think he's a good basketball coach. Actually, when he was a Bucks coach, I liked him as the Bucks coach. I thought he got a lot out of I thought the mindset that they have now started with Jason Kidd, and I don't even think it's deniable. Like, I think he turned around the way they thought. And then they brought in Coach Bud, who I actually don't love as his coaching style. I don't love the way they play sometimes. I think they could actually be better than they are.
He always looks so disheveled.
But I like Bud. I say that, but I like Bud. He's a champion, and I think people underrate him sometimes. But I don't love him sometimes. But that's cool. That's a good NBA playoffs. Let's move on.
Talk more once they start.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk more once they start. Well, I guess we'll predict a winner. You can predict a winner.
I'm picking the Bucks.
Bucks, yeah. We're gonna go full home. I really believe it. I think they're awesome when I watch them. They're gonna be frustrating and hard to watch, and it's gonna scare us, but they're gonna win.
Yeah.
They're gonna win if they stay healthy.
Yes.
Moving on. You had a topic I thought you wanted to talk about. No, I thought there was one other thing that was like entertainment.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Drew, did you hear that Jlo and Ben Affleck are engaged again?
I didn't until about 5 minutes before we started recording. And I was like, what? It's just funny that's a thing.
I know.
Why?
Well, her and A-Rod broke up less than a year ago.
Sure.
And then she started dating Ben.
Sure.
And now they're engaged.
Can you imagine if just people in our everyday normal life just were getting married and dating people that aggressively all the time? Yeah. Getting married, getting engaged. It would be like, what the fuck is wrong with Tabitha? I don't know. It's just a name that came to my head. I don't understand it. It's weird. It's a weird thing. It definitely feels cloudy, like chasing the story.
But she always loved him, Drew. She loved him.
So that's your take, because it's exciting. It'd be like if Ben and Brad and
Jen got
back together. Would it be like that?
No, because they never got married. They broke up before they
Did Ben and Jlo have a good run the first time?
Yeah, they were engaged.
They were just engaged. They never got married?
Yeah.
I don't remember. And then Geely came out and that was the end of it, right?
Yeah. I don't really know how it dissolved. Like, I wasn't tapped into it at the time, but... Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, here. It was a different thought, so finish what you're saying.
No, I just was saying I don't really know how it dissolved.
It was fake. It was bogus.
Their first one?
Yeah! It was just someone dating and they moved out. It dissolved because it was dumb and over.
Oh, but they were engaged.
Yeah, and then they were in a couple movies together, and then it ended, and then the movies were bombs, and then it was over.
Oh, do you think Ben took it as like she was like what do I want to say? A jinx on his movie career, where anytime like she was in a movie with him, it was terrible, and he lost credibility, and he was no longer Ben Affleck from Good Will Hunting.
I just think that in Hollywood, and not even just Hollywood, in the world, people get married just because it's convenient and we're having fun, and then we get engaged. And it's just like, that's why it's not my thing. That's why it's not my. I don't believe in it. I think it's fake and false and forced. You know, a lot of people get married, a lot of people get divorced, and some people stay together for a very long time, and that's fine too. Like, that's cool. Some people could, if you don't ever get married, could stay for someone for a very long time as well. Preach.
And I was gonna say, and that segment is Drew talking relationships.
And that segment is you're talking to two unmarried adults, late 30s adults, mid 30s adults.
Mid.
If you ask Tara.
Yes.
She's mid. She's mid still.
I'll be late. Mid next year too. No, you're
late.
mid.
37 is late. I've discussed this with you 100,000 times. You're 30. You're 31, 32, 33. That's early 30s. 34, 35, 36. That's mid 30s. 37, 38, 39. Late 30s. 40. Listen.
No, this is what it is. It's you're 30.
Yeah.
And then you're 31, 32, 33. That's early 30s.
Okay.
35. So that's 35.
You skipped 34.
34, 35. That's mid. Or 34, 35, 36, 37. That's mid.
Okay.
38, 39. That's late.
Okay.
But I think 35 is just 35.
No, it's the mid 30s. You're in your mid 34 to 36 is the mid 30s. There's 3. It's 3 for each one. And then you're just either 30 or 40.
Okay.
Sorry, you're basically 40, Tara. You're basically 40 and unwed. Which for some reason matters to people.
I know. It doesn't matter to me.
Do you want to tell them what Grandma said to you? Do you want to tell them what Grandma asked you? Because you're not married? Yeah, recently? Like when you were just there, yeah.
I was just at my grandma's house, and she was like, "So Tara, you know, are you looking?" Because you're not married. I'm not married. She goes, "Are you looking for a boyfriend or a girlfriend?" And I was like,
which, you know, do you think she would have asked you that if you weren't single? Like, for the, you know, if you weren't married, if you were married, like, obviously if you were married, she wouldn't ask that, but like,
no.
It's because if you were younger, I mean. You know what I mean? It's like, she's like, why isn't my granddaughter married yet?
Yeah.
You know, in a, like a major, or even like in a, like a.
And then she goes, well, you know, like, because I was like, Grandma, I'm not. If you're asking if I'm a lesbian, I'm not. And then, I lost my train.
Did she let you know that she was okay with that?
Yeah, because she goes, well, you never know because, like, it runs in our family.
Sorry to tell you, it runs in like every family.
I know.
It's not specific to the fam.
But it was funny.
And she just wanted you to know that it was okay.
Yeah, just so you know. Which was sweet.
It's funny though.
It's very funny.
You should have just said you were.
Just to see what she would have,
see how she really reacted. Just to see how she really reacted.
That would have been funny.
Oh man, cat, get out of here! My girlfriend's cat is in the room and she's trying to get attention. Name's Carrot. What are you doing?
Hey.
So yeah, the Jlo and Ben Affleck. I don't really care. It doesn't move my wiener at all, I would say.
Oh God. I just think it's crazy.
I just think it's...
People are like obsessed with it too. They're like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy." I'm like, I mean, I'm not not happy for them, but like, it doesn't affect me either way.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I just don't. I've never actually understood any of that. I've never understood why anyone cares who famous people are dating. I've never understood it. I've never understood why anyone cares who like Miranda will tell me like one of her friends is dating someone. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I can still like your friend and like you and not care that they're dating someone. Unless like it's someone I'm going to see a lot and like I have to start interacting with them.
Right.
Like sure, I want them to be happy. But like I don't need an update.
You're the worst.
I don't. Why? Why does that make me the worst? Why do I care?
Because it's
like
just to like know.
Like when someone tells me that someone's having a baby, I'm like, all right, I'm probably never going to see this baby. You know, like, but like I know Miranda cares. So like, I don't know if I didn't tell you this. Olsen had her baby.
Drew.
Yesterday.
Was it a boy or a girl?
Boy.
What'd they name it? Jayhawk?
Not telling you on here.
Okay.
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But she had a boy. She did not name it Jayhawk. Sadly. I thought she should have. I thought she should have. You know. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I just realized something.
What?
She kind of named it after someone. I'll tell you after the fact. Now that I think about it. So what was the point? Oh, but I showed her the picture of the baby because I knew she'd care.
Yeah, that was nice of you.
I cared because it's one of my very good friends and I wanted to see it. But like if she showed me, like if she showed me her breast, if she showed me all her breasts of her friends, I'd probably be into it. If she showed me her best friend, like let's see, one of her best friends, like she has a best friend named Jessie and a best friend named Jess. It's very confusing for me. Mm-hmm. Say one of them had a kid and she showed me, I'd care because I know them both and it's her, you know, important friends. But like, I don't need it. Like next tier friends. I'm like, I've never met that. I've met that person like once and I probably will never meet their significant other. I don't care that much.
You're the worst. There's always this thing where you can just like act interested and not be. Or...
I do. I absolutely do. She doesn't know how much I don't care. She does now. But so do you. Like, listen, it's not that big a deal to me.
I know. Because it doesn't have anything to do with you.
Well, yeah, I guess that's basically correct. No, I want people in her, like, I want them to be happy, but I don't need here's the thing. Tell me once or twice, but I don't need a bunch of updates. Maybe that's more what I'm saying. Like, I don't need a ton of updates about stuff like that. Because it's really not on my radar. I got a million other things on my brain, you know? Like,
yeah.
How can I get my podcast up and running? Getting people listening to this thing. I probably can't because I'm a selfish jerk. Like, this guy's a jerk. He doesn't care about his girlfriend's friends' babies. None of them are having babies. Mm-mm. Not that I know of. Or she told me I forgot. That's also possible.
That's probably possible.
I got something in my eye. Oh boy, we're good.
All right.
But yeah, that's what. You give me a sew. What are you sewing about?
I was gonna say, so that was our Jlo and Ben talk.
We don't have to every segment go like, and that was our talk about Jlo. Actually, I think we do have to. And that was our Jlo and Ben talk and marriage, and Drew's being an asshole. Mm-hmm. Tara, are you watching anything right now? You're bad at TV. Tara doesn't. Tara starts shows, never finishes them ever. There's the cat.
I do some, but very rarely. I'm the show.
Why don't you finish? You don't ever. No, hold on. You don't ever finish a show. You finish like one show in the history of time, and it was Bosch.
I know.
That's the only show you've ever finished. Like
it was so good though.
But are you? What if? Here's my thing: is they started a new Bosch. Will you finish the new Bosch?
Did they start it?
Oh, I thought they did. I thought that's what you were watching.
No, Mom and Dad are watching the old one because the new one's not out yet.
I couldn't get into it. I'm sorry. I watched, I think, 2 episodes of Bosch. I just wasn't feeling Bosch. I'm sorry.
It's good.
But what are you watching now?
Right now, okay. So I'm watching this show, and you would probably hate it, but I love it. And it's on network TV, but I watched it on Hulu. It's called Abbott Elementary.
Don't like it. Continue.
Did you watch it?
I've watched the first 2 episodes. I don't care for it at all.
Okay, the other show.
No, finish telling what you can talk about Abbott.
Oh, well, it doesn't interest you. It doesn't interest you, so I wasn't sure.
Doesn't matter if it interests me. Doesn't matter if it interests me. Talk about it, and I will either A, tell you why I don't like it, or B, hear why you like it. I know a lot of people like it. I'm not one of those people. It just doesn't speak to me. But what do you like about it?
I just like all the characters in it. It's about a school in, I think, Philadelphia, a elementary school, and it's just the teachers. It's kind of like it's that Office feel where it's like there's a documentary following them type of thing. Yeah,
I'm tired of that sort of thing for sure. It's kind of almost like The Office, I would say, meets Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I would say it has a Brooklyn Nine-Nine vibe to it as well. But I don't think it does either of those things as well as those 2 shows.
It's an easy watch, and it's just kind of, I don't know, there's little heartfelt moments in it that I like.
Yeah.
I laugh when I watch it, so that's always good.
That is good. You're welcome to like it. I'm glad you like it. A lot of people like it. I'm just not feeling it. I can't get on board with it. Miranda wants to watch. I said she can watch it by herself. I don't. We watch a lot of shows together, but that's not going to be one of them.
It's an easy watch too, so.
I don't always need an easy watch.
I do. You know me.
Yeah, you don't like anything with any sort of complexity to it because you'll give up anytime things get rough. You're done. You're out. Anytime things get
When you say complexity, it makes it sound like I'm a simpleton, which I am not a simpleton.
No,
it's
you
like
don't
when
like
there's
your
stress or conflict, I get uncomfortable. Yeah, so I have to stop watching it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it gets any sort of like, if it's not like smooth sailing, you're out.
Yeah.
You're like, are you the perfect candidate to watch the like sitcoms on the network TV? It's for you.
I know.
But I feel like those will get you sometimes too.
I know. Like when you were watching How I Met Your Mother, like the very first episode I ever saw is when Marshall's dad dies, spoiler alert. But it wrecked me and I couldn't watch it ever again because it was so sad.
So you're watching Abbott Elementary. So you're not going to get me on that. So what's the other thing you were going to say you're watching?
The Game Theory of Bomani Jones.
Yeah, it's okay. Here's what I don't like about it, and I probably wouldn't have noticed. You wouldn't have noticed either. But when he does his street interviews, he talks to like comedians that I know are like comedians. Like, so I don't know if they're out like, paying people to do it, or they just, a bunch of people like, hey, they go to the theater, like, hey, can you guys come do some interviews so they're interesting? So I don't like that part. I want some like. real man on the street stuff. I don't know if they're all like that they talk to, but I've definitely seen faces I know from doing local improv and stuff in Chicago, and some people that are out in New York now. Clearly,
yeah,
I've seen a handful of them. You know what I mean? Like every time. I think last night was I didn't know any of the people. It was the first time. It was the first time I didn't know anyone.
But I felt like at least one of them was definitely.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like about it, I would say.
Well, I think that it's starting to get legs, and it's getting much better with like the crowd involvement.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mixture to me as to like Last Week Tonight and maybe like The Soup or something like that. And I don't know. I think it's funny. I think Bomani Jones is really good, but I did. Speaking of like not being able to watch an entire series, they did like I think it was their second episode. They like did more of a deeper dive into Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, and I had to shut it off because crypto makes me uncomfortable.
Why?
Because I don't understand it.
I mean, I'm not a crypto person, but
I don't like. I like real life things, and it seems like so confusing, and I don't want to be a part of it, and I'm worried.
The crypto, NFT, metaverse stuff, I'm not a fan of it. It's a little too not in reality. Like, it's a real thing. I mean, they're real things that, they exist, but they're not like in the real reality. I think we're moving away. Like, people are so afraid of like the real world. I think that's what I don't like about it,
Yeah.
Crypto's a little different. It's like it's money is always fucking kind of stupid and it doesn't make any sense. Like dollars don't make sense, really. But so we're not a crypto podcast, guys, which is probably bad for us. We probably aren't going to make any money because you got to be in the crypto game.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I've never owned crypto or own crypto now, but I don't like it. I'm not like into it. Like I hate it. I'm like, ugh. Like this is weird. But I like Bomani's show. It's pretty good. I hope it has a good run. I think it still needs to find itself a little bit more.
Sure.
I think it needs some of the sketches and stuff, like in the Man on the Streets, need to feel a little more natural. Mm-hmm. But as a whole, I think it's a pretty good show, and I like Bomani. I was always bummed when I like Bomani more when he's talking, like just where he doesn't have like a script to follow and a thing like that, and when he's kind of off the cuff. I liked him on his show. What was that one show he had? Like I liked him when he was on Highly Questionable, and I liked him when he was on High Noon. Those were really good shows. Remember when ESPN had a couple shows that were like kind of different and interesting, and now everything's the same boring piece of shit of everything else.
Yeah.
I would say that probably Jalen and Jacoby's the next to go. They'll probably, fuck that up somehow, because it's its own thing right in the middle of the day. Mm-hmm. Not that they say anything out of control, but at least it's like different.
Yeah.
So we'll see how long that's on. It's been on for a long time. It's a good show.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Are you watching anything?
I'm watching, I'm watching a million things.
I know.
I'm trying to think if there's anything like that's like I'm watching good shows. Like Severance is a really cool show on Apple TV. You know what I am watching? Oh my god, I don't know if you've watched this yet. It's on Netflix. It's called Old Enough. Mm-mm. It's from like I want to say Japan, and basically they take like 2-year-olds to like 6-year-olds, and they send them out on errands by themselves and record it. And it is bonkers. It is so fucking funny and cute, and they're all just like so sweet.
Oh,
it's so good. It's a must watch.
Okay.
Like they're like the kids are like talking to themselves, and someone's doing some voiceover, and I don't know how much they help the kids out when they're out and about, but it seems like they're not. It seems because they'll have moments where like the cameraman will kind of like they'll try and turn the cameraman and talk to him, and they're kind of like don't really want to help them. Like they almost like, do you want my help? I can help you. And then it's so good. Okay. Old Enough.
I'll watch it.
Everybody, if you want something that's just mindless and
that's my favorite,
feels good, that's the show. Tara.
I'm gonna do
They're like 10 minutes long. They're like so short. They're anywhere from like 10 to 15 minutes long, and they're so like the first episode. The little boy, his mom sends him to walk to the grocery store to get 3 items and bring them back for dinner. And it is so good. Like, he has to cross the street. He has to, like, cross it. Like, I'm sure, like, the cameraman would make sure. And, like, mom must be watching. I think they must be watching on, like, a closed circuit or something like that, because they seem to know what's going on. But then they get home and they've completed their task. The parents are so proud of them. It is so good. Old enough. It's a good, like, right before bed thing. Like, last thing you watch before you go to bed.
Give you good dreams. Because
it is subtitled. So you can't just, like, leave it on and enjoy it.
Right.
It's kind of be something you watch and then you move on with your day. So watch Old Enough.
I'm excited. That sounds cute.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. And I don't want to, like, Severance is good in a different way. And I don't want to talk about good TV right now.
Okay.
That's, like, we'll talk Severance. You've never seen it, so it's not that exciting to talk to you about. But if you guys want to watch a cool show that's real different, Severance on Apple TV, Apple Plus televisions. So let's finish this up with one of our things we like to do. We didn't really have one last week, but it sounds like you have one this week. It is grievance, either with me, with the world, with yourself. What are you grieving on?
Okay. So something I've noticed is when people have children, they will call their kids kiddos, and I can't stand it. I think it's
okay. The term kiddo in general?
Yeah. Well, no, like,
or just when a parent say, "Oh, the kiddos."
Yeah, or like even if it's not the parents, maybe it's like a teacher. I'm like, ugh, and like it's just a word that I don't like, and some people don't like the word moist, and I think moist is a great word, and it like sounds like what the meaning of the word is. So I think it's a great descriptor of cake and other.
Is it just the word kiddo?
Things.
Is it when they refer to kiddos as a whole?
Like,
because I was just like, what if someone just called someone a kiddo? Okay, kiddo.
I hate it.
Oh my god. What about, like, if I'll say it sometimes to adults?
Well,
like, call them a kiddo.
That's
well,
just
when are you
annoying.
supposed to? If you can't use it for a kid or an adult, when are you supposed to use it?
I never. It's not a good word. It just like grinds my gears.
Wow.
I realized it when I saw somebody post something on Facebook and they said, "Oh, the kiddos," and I'm like,
what about when someone calls their cat a kid? The cat's the kiddos.
That's
their
the
pets.
Worst.
Yeah, what about that? Worst. That's a thing.
No.
But it's a thing that happens.
Why?
Because people think their pets are their kids.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like that either. I just think it's an annoying term. And I know a lot of people that use it, but I feel like once people become parents, they start saying kiddos. I
like that you hate the word kiddos.
I do.
It's such I never even think about it, but you're kind of right when someone's like, "Oh, the kiddo," like you'll say when they refer to them as the kiddos. The kiddos are playing in the backyard, like.
Yeah. It's like, okay, like stop talking like that. I don't know why. I just don't like it.
Can we be real? That the truth of the matter is, you don't like kids.
No, I like kids.
Do you?
Yeah.
You like specific kids, but do you like kids?
I think I like kids, sort of.
Like, I like specific animals, pets, but I don't like pets.
Yeah, I think I like kids.
Really?
Small doses of them.
Yeah, sure.
Like, you just told me a story about a show where it's little kids being cute.
Yeah, but they're from Japan. And they're, like, very well behaved and seem very sweet. They're not mine.
There's a time and a place for kids.
And I spend 10 minutes with them.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Kids to me are fine. I don't want kids.
That's fine.
Kiddos.
And if you had them and called them kiddos?
Kiddos. Yeah.
Are you on
Kiddo's
board?
rough. You're right.
I
Kiddo's
know.
rough. I don't like it. Hey, kiddos. Sounds like an old creep. Hey, kiddo, you want some of my meatball sub?
Oh my god.
Hey, kiddos, you want to get on my balcony and watch me do yoga? I don't know.
Okay.
That's a creepy thing to say.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't really have a grievance for the week, if I'm gonna be totally honest.
It's okay.
I guess my grievance is this. I said that like I had a real grievance. I don't have shit.
I know.
I tried in that.
You're like, it's gonna come to me.
I tried to stall, and as I stalled dramatically, I was like, I will come up with a grievance. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing's really been grieving me lately. Nothing that's like that interesting. Like plenty of normal stuff, out and about. For sure. You know what? I do have a grievance, and it's normally you're not supposed to talk about stuff like this. It's very boring. But I hate April. I hate the weather. I hate the weather in April. It is bullshit. March will have a beautiful, nice day where it's like 70. Like it's here. Fucking A. Spring/summer is here, and then April sucks.
April does suck.
It's cold and rainy and bullshit, and I don't want anything to do with April. I think April should be deleted from the calendar. In my memories, if you've seen Severance, I should be severed during April. Basically, in Severance, when you're at work, you are separated from when you're not at work. Your brain you don't remember anything.
Ooh.
I want that for April.
Yeah.
That's what I want for April.
I agree with you. I can't stand, I don't
April-
really like anything except warm months, so.
April and girls softball tournaments. I don't know why that came to my head, but it's just one thing I never enjoyed growing up is having to go into girls softball. I hate the cheering. I think we talked about this in one of our test podcasts, but I don't like the cheering.
What about the slap bunts?
I don't like any of it.
I hate the slap bunts. Ugh.
I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time for baseball. Just girls start playing baseball. What happened? Why?
I don't know.
I think everyone agrees baseball's better. Do they?
I don't know. Barely.
I don't know, man. I mean,
think about it. Think of all the people that you know that played baseball in high school, but now they play softball. So I think they like softball.
Slow pitch softball, you mean?
Yeah, or fast.
I like slow. I don't know anyone that plays fast pitch softball.
Faust.
One dude? And I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey! Sorry.
What the hell?
Cat's acting up. She's trying to eat a plant.
Oh.
That's why I don't like cats. I don't like kids. Touch shit they're not supposed to. So that was my thing. April, get rid of it. Softball, girls. That was unprompted, but I don't know why I thought of it.
Just the tournaments?
The tournaments, yeah, whatever. Yeah. I had to go to girls softball tournaments, like yours at one point, I think. We had cousins that were always in softball tournaments. I didn't go to a lot of them, but the ones I was at, I hated. Mm-hmm. I hated it. God, I
thought they were fun.
Why?
I don't
want to go to. Can I be honest? I don't want to go to any tournament that is kids,
Oh yeah.
High school kids, unless it was crazy high end basketball, really high end, basketball tournament, state championship, something like that. Sure, mm-hmm. But just a AAU tournament. I played in an AAU tournament one time as a joke. And it wasn't cool. It was nothing interesting about it. I just don't want to watch a bunch of untalented people play stuff. and lots of it. Soccer tournaments. Oh, so many games. So many people. Yeah. So many people that are never going to do anything as soccer players.
And the annoying parents that are just out of control.
Oh, man. So maybe youth sports.
Youth sports gotta.
Thank you. I am glad that we're pretty. I didn't play anything real tournament-y stuff growing up.
I did.
I had one tournament a year in basketball, but you played in a lot of shit. You played in a lot of tournament-y stuff, 3-on-3 tournaments and stuff. That was kind of fun though. Yeah. I actually didn't hate that. I think the only thing that tournament-wise I can handle is a basketball tournament. It just has a good flow to it.
Yeah.
The other ones are just
The
too
games are
long.
quicker.
Baseball,
Yeah.
soccer, softball. Yeah, it's over and done with, the basketball tournament. You can do, it's quick, fast paced. You were out in the sun all day, just cooking and just being like, and just watching, a 12-year-old girl throw 14 balls in a row. And it's just like, what are we doing? Why am I here? I could be at home playing with my scooch.
I knew that was coming.
Well, then you don't have to react every time I say something you think is weird. Just go, yeah. It was
coming. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Well, there's probably some things we talked about covering, but I actually don't care.
Yeah.
There's nothing we have to get to ever. We got to the Masters and the playoffs and stuff like that. But yeah, as a whole, I think that was a good follow up. Everyone who listens to this, if you can give us some feedback. We had some random listeners from there's someone in France or something. No.
Ooh, bonjour.
Belgium. What was it? I don't remember what it was that listened to us. Someone in California. We'll see if we get some repeaters. And we also didn't, Tara, we got to tell people about this.
Yeah, we do.
Did you tell anyone? I didn't either.
Didn't tell anyone.
I sent it to my girlfriend and that was it. So this one we're going to put out and tell people about it.
Yep.
All right. That was Mellon Fights. Have a Tuesday.
Have a Tuesday.
Have a Tuesday. Hey, everybody. Have a Tuesday. Tara?
Have a Tuesday.
Have a Tuesday. All right. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Mellon Fights.
You were really late that time. And I was also wrong last time. I was telling you were late, but you were early. So you got even earlier the last time we did it. Let's try one more time. Okay. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Mellon Fights. Works for me. Bye.
Bye.